are my first impressions of Wicked for Good. I just got back from the movie theater and my mind is swirling with thought, so let's get into it. First and foremost, I do want to put that disclaimer out there that there will be spoilers ahead. I feel like my perspective on the film is highly affected by the fact that I've seen the play. So I already knew what to expect as far as the basic plot for the film coming into the theater. I'm saying this as a Marvel and DC fan, but it's always nice to see magic and fantasy and colorful worlds when you go to watch movies outside of those realms. And so that's one thing that I feel like both movies, the part 1 and part 2, do such a great job at offering a colorful interpretation on fantastical worlds. Like I said, we don't see that often, and it's whimsical and it's beautiful, and seeing that interpretation, the interpretation of Oz on screen visually is beautiful. It's breathtaking, I feel like. From the wardrobe to the sets. Yeah. And of course, all the actors, they ate down. Their voices were magical. I do feel like, as always, Cynthia and Ariana, both of their voices kind of blend so well together. Sometimes you don't know who's singing what note. And I like that in the first one. I like it in the second one. I left the theater being reminded that I actually need to do better as a creative to instill some magic in my own life and to stay on top of creating, because I feel like, as you see, there's been a lapse in my film reviews. So I was inspired leaving the theater. More specifically about the plot, I love seeing the internal journey that Elphaba and Glinda experience separately. For Elphaba, I think the movie does a great job at showing what it means or what it looks like to want to stand up for yourself and stand up for your community or your friends. Not saying that the animals were a part of her community, but the animals had something in common in that they were discriminated against by the mass population in Oz. And the film does a great job at showing what it looks like to give your all, to fighting and standing up for what's right, and for things to not work out for you. It's real that Elphaba was like, I need to retire my hat and my broom. I am done. I'm going to prioritize me and what I need now. And to have that the ability to step outside of yourself and to understand how others perceive you, it's something that as a Black woman I can relate to, because I have to do it every day in society. Just knowing and just being aware that, just like how she was telling Glinda, look at me not with your eyes, but look at me with their eyes. There's a certain awareness that you have to have in a society that already prejudges you before you even open up your mouth, before you even step into a room. And I think that's a valuable message that the film shows. Choosing you first, when the time is, when it's necessary. And in the end, Elphaba chose her peace. And Glinda, we see a lot more of her emotional development, more so than we do in the musical. She has this whole added number where she's talking about popping or bursting her bubble. The scene wasn't my favorite, but I love the message of the song, and I love the cinematography in the scene. You didn't know if you were looking inside a mirror at her reflection or if you were actually looking at her, which of course goes all into the whole theme of her needing to stop living within this facade of herself and just be completely authentic. We're not smiling and waving anymore. It's time to get serious. It's time to yeah, it's time to get serious. And I like that. I also liked seeing Bach's character development as well. That bitterness. Like, he literally he became so heartless. And they took that and they ran with it, and I was a little terrified when he was busting down the door. I was like, what is this man finna look like? I was not expecting that amount of rage coming from him. He was never my favorite character before, but I really like this interpretation of him. I liked how upset he was in the middle of Emerald City, talking about how he was gonna get the Wicked Witch. That was really, wow. Like, I feel like that was good as well. I wish we would have saw more of the Cowardly Lion. It made me sad that he didn't thank Elphaba for what he did, but I know in the context of the film and what was necessary for the plot, certain things had to happen a certain way, but I digress. What else? I really liked how with Nessa's character, instead of having the shoes enable her to walk, they enabled her to fly, which I feel like was elegantly done. I was curious about how they were going to do that scene, and I'm glad that that's what they ended up doing. Speaking of Nessa, although I feel like Marissa did amazing in the role, I do wish that there was a little bit more depth and more development with her character. We only see her, in the scenes in her office. We don't really get a call back to how her experience was in her childhood. A friend pointed out to me that we get to see Glinda as a child. That I would like to, and I know Nessa is not a main character, but there are other side characters that got a lot of plot self-development, like the prince, but he got development in the play as well. But back to Nessa, it would have been nice to, I know her whole thing is that she grew up, spoiled, and so she doesn't know anything outside of that. She doesn't know what it means to be selfless because she never had to be, and so her whole perspective of life is just jaded. But I would love to see more depth, so more layers to Nessa outside of what felt like a caricature of a selfish person. But again, Marissa's performance was amazing. I really love how they expanded on the whole animal storyline. I feel like in the musical, there are a few cliffhangers, and I had a lot of questions. I'm glad that we got to see the professor at the end back in his classroom. We got to hear one of the monkeys speak again. We got to see the animals coming back from where they had retreated. Just more screen time for the animals in general. Love that. Oh, and lastly, as someone who came into the theater knowing exactly what was going to happen plot-wise after having seen the musical, there were moments where I wondered if someone with little to no context would be confused. Because there were certain things that were expounded on, but other things weren't. I feel like there should have been more callbacks to Elphaba holding her elixir from her mother. Even though it was covered in the first film, maybe another refresher in the second film, outside of the big reveal and outside of the foreshadowing of with the wizard holding the elixir. I think we just needed to see Elphaba holding the elixir, and maybe we did, and maybe I missed it. I only saw it once. I just left the movie theater. But yeah, instances like that where I'm wondering if they had expounded upon it more, if the average moviegoer who doesn't know much about Wicked or who doesn't remember the first movie would understand it or not. And I was also talking to a friend about this. We think that the film may have benefited from just being one film instead of two parts. One film with an intermission, one very long film with an intermission, so that there wouldn't be need to do so many callbacks because the audiences would have seen everything in one setting. All in all, I'll rate this a 6.7 out of 10. I would recommend it. Yeah, so thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe.